Behind the Plate podcast. I'm Chloe Veuleman, and this is a new startup podcast that I am going to be hosting, producing, pretty much all of the above, on campus for our girls softball team. Obviously, there's only girls who play softball, probably, but we're just going to roll with it. This is our episode 1, first take, first week. So forgive us if we sound a little nervous. But I have with me a senior and not a sophomore, a freshman, and it's also their first time on camera as well. We're all very excited. So if you guys don't mind going ahead and introducing yourselves, like name, major, hometown, what year you are, and what position you play. So,
I'm Erin Williams. I'm a senior from Stuttgart, Arkansas, and I am a catcher.
I'm Jordan Merritt. I'm from Wiley, Texas, and I'm a pitcher outfielder.
So that kind of leads into my next question. Perfect. Okay. So you play 2 positions. Have you always played 2 positions, or did you start when you got here? Like, did you switch a lot growing up? Just like kind of tell us the story of how you started playing and how you got comfortable in your positions.
Yeah. So growing up, I played like infield mostly, and then at like 10 or 11, I started pitching. And normally when you start pitching, you like quit the other stuff, but I didn't want to quit the other stuff, so I played infield until like sophomore year of high school, and then I started playing outfield, and I've kind of like stuck with that ever since. I still played infield in high school, but when I got here, I switched just to primarily outfield and still pitching. Okay. So that's where.
Erin?
I started as a middle infielder.
Oh, okay.
I didn't start catching until the catcher on our travel team got hurt, and they were like, "You're the next person in line." And then I kind of stuck with it, and everybody told me I was always going to be too small to be a college catcher. So I signed here as a middle infielder, and then the previous coach figured out that I got, and here I am.
I remember watching you catch a lot last year, and you look like a wall back there. I know I grew up, I was shortstop, pitcher, center field, so pretty much just middle everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught one time in a practice, never again. I applaud you for it,
Thank
honestly.
You gotta love it. You can't be scared. But
No, for sure. My family was always like, "You're so mean. Like, you'll be fine back there. Nothing scares you." I ran every time it came at me. So you do a good job from what we've watched, and I've watched you guys for a couple of years now, at least you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're good defense back there.
Thank you.
For sure. It's gotta be rough on the knees and like squatting all the time. And
I've actually already had 2 knee surgeries, and I'm potentially looking at a 3rd, but we ball. So.
Yeah, true. I've had 4 knee surgeries, so I'm right there with you. Not for that reason, but like I had to quit playing because I've had so many bad knee problems, and so I'm right there with you. I understand.
No, I ate it up back there. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to be anywhere else.
That's good. Like having your just one primary position. It's especially if it's something you're good at.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once you find that rhythm, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And like I don't hit a lot because I quit, but like I've seen you hit, and like I feel like not a lot of catchers or hitters, like I feel like they're just behind the plate from what I've seen. So like talk about I guess your hitting career. Like
mostly in our conference, the catchers like they're the power hitters,
mm-hmm.
but they don't run their own bases. Like
okay,
it's kind of weird to see a catcher that runs their own bases,
mm-hmm.
and I'm one of them. Like I run my own bases, but I've always been a hitter because when I was a fielder, I was tiny as a
mm-hmm.
fielder, so I had to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I had to like get my spot on the field, and that was through hitting. So.
Okay. But you're right or left hand?
I'm a left-handed hitter, but I'm right-handed in the field.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Are you a smacker or just like
straight-up hitter?
Okay, nice.
I don't really. The slapping's not for me. I tried it, and no.
Yeah. I don't. That looks. I just don't.
Yeah,
it looks interesting. I'll say that. Yeah. Looks interesting for sure. I haven't seen you hit yet. At least you didn't. I don't think I have. I don't know if you played this last weekend.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. So I might have seen you then. Did you pitch? I know we went through a couple of pitchers.
Weekend. No, okay. I played outfield this
weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Were you the one that ran into?
No, I was out there.
Okay, I was like, I was hoping that was not. I was like, this is gonna be a weird question.
No, I was out there, but I was not.
Is she okay? Speaking,
she does have a concussion,
but she's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad she's okay. Are you a right or a left-hand hitter?
I throw right-handed and hit right-handed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what is your, like, are you a power hitter? Are you just
I
like
would say,
RBI?
yeah, I'm a power hitter. I swing for power.
Okay. As we all should.
Mhm.
I agree. All right. So I was told to ask you guys about officially Friday night, but now it's Saturday
Saturday
night. So what is Saturday night? Like, I have no clue. I was just told Saturday night. So
Basically, it was the longest softball game I've ever played in my entire life. It was quite literally pouring down rain the entire time, but it's a core memory. So, like, I'm never going to forget that game.
yeah, you guys played at Henderson, right?
Yes.
Do they have a turf field or a dirt field?
They have a very hot turf field, so that means that the turf's really short.
Okay.
And
Super
so,
slick.
super slick, the ball comes off harder. Like, when you slide, you're going 10 feet, not 4. Like,
Oh gosh.
it's crazy.
Okay. Was that better for the rain or was it worse? Like, were there a lot of puddles? Did you guys have a lot of, like, standing water?
The only standing water was, like, right outside the pitching circle where like, their plant is. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of standing water. Just, you could tell where the ball hit, that there would splash. And, like, it was raining so hard that the ball was soaking wet from flying in the air. Like,
Yeah, they switch balls like after every pitch.
every pitch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There was no way did they have, like, a towel or anything? Or did they just go through the same couple ones?
Like, we had, each team had, like, we had a towel in the dugout.
Okay.
But, like, we would maybe get through, like, a pitch or two, and then we'd have to switch.
Mhm.
Like, every time the ball hit the ground, the umpire would say, okay, when the runner gets on base, like, new ball.
Okay.
It was pouring down rain. Like,
Mhm.
I had to take my catching gear into my apartment and, like, hang it up on the,
Oh, no.
like, on the stuff in front of the vent so
Yeah.
it wouldn't, like, get all moldy. Like, it was crazy.
Ooh, oh
Yeah.
gosh. I bet that was not a good smell the next day
It
either.
doesn't smell too bad.
Oh, well, that's good.
Then Powerade got spilled on it on Sunday, so now it smells like Powerade.
So
But
you're fine. Yeah, you're chilling.
Refresh.
Well, as a pitcher, have you ever pitched in the rain or any rain close to that? Or
I mean, I've pitched in the rain, but I've never pitched in something like that. Like, pitching in the mist is already hard enough.
Yeah.
Like, just, like, keeping your hand dry, keeping the ball dry, it's really hard. And that was, like, another level. Like, our pitchers killed it. It was so tough. But, yeah, I've never pitched in anything like that. But pitching in the rain is already hard, even when it's just misting, and it was, like, a downpour.
yeah, I bet, like, just getting a grip or, like, being able to hit. Like,
Anna was, like, wiping the back of, like, under her knees
our
to find.
hamstrings were, like, the only dry part of
Yeah.
our body.
So she would, like, get the ball back, and she's, like, drying her hands off behind her
Yeah.
knees, because that's the only place that was dry.
I
I
could
think
not
at one
imagine.
point she went for her socks.
I don't blame her on that part for sure. I know just walking to my car, I got soaking wet just from the tennis center. So, like, the fact that you guys played in that's crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, like, you guys were hitting, but, like, it was just, like, I feel like you shouldn't have been hitting, like, almost, like, like,
Yeah.
like a happy medium, and you were both hitting, both teams were hitting, which, I feel like is good in a certain point, but, like, in that case, I call it, maybe.
Yes. Especially there, like, towards the end of the game, like, they should have called it because we were down by so much. And then we come back in their pitcher, props to her, she just had the meatball it up there to us.
Oh, gosh.
So we ended up scoring 9 runs in 1 inning, but that turned their game around for sure, and it made a 3-run game and not an 11-run game.
Yeah, which is much, better. Even whatever the outcome is, like a 3-run is always going to be better than an 11-run game. So, props to you guys again for playing in that rain, because I was comfy in my beanbag in my living room. Other than rain, have you guys ever played in extreme weather like that? Like, I know growing up, I distinctly remember a core memory of mine. I played when I was a lot younger, and it started to snow in a game, and they were like, you're almost done. There's like 10 minutes left, because it's Little League. Nothing matters in Little League. And so they're like, there's 10 minutes left. You can do it. And, like, my hands hurt from gripping our metal bats and hitting, and, like, nothing helped.
Yeah.
So, like, have you got other extreme weather stories? Anyone other than this one?
I don't know of anything specific, except we scrimmaged each other the other day. And it was when we came back before school started.
Okay.
And it was like, I think it was like 16 degrees. Like, it was so cold. We all had like sweatshirts on, like, under our jerseys. It was that might be the coldest I've played in. But playing in the cold is miserable, whether like you have enough layers on or not. It's just everything hurts your hands. Throwing, catching, hitting. It's all miserable.
I think besides Saturday, like, the toughest weather I played in last year. We played Arkansas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
It was not only 20-something degrees, but it was also raining.
Yep.
So we're soaking wet, freezing, can't get anything warm. Like, you just kind of have to go out there and be miserable.
Yeah. You know, anything for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Did you guys grow up wanting to play college ball, or was it like, I know I came to Ouachita because they gave me the most money out of anywhere I applied to, so like, was it financial? You know, like, did you sign other places? Was it just like a family feel when you got here? Like, talk about your signing process and when you got here.
I actually was recruited by Coach McKee.
Okay.
He was a coach a couple of coaches ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think me and Lauren are the last ones to go through that were from him. But I looked at a couple other places, had some offers at a couple other places. But he was the coach that I was like, I want to play for him. Like, he's the coach that I know is going to treat me right, like treat me as a person, not just a player. And he's kind of like I don't want to say a father figure because he was a little bit older, but like he had that sense about him.
Yeah.
And the campus here was really homey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only like 2 hours away from my house. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just nice to be home, be close to home, and like the atmosphere here and
Yeah.
the softball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I knew I wanted to play in college, and like I went through the recruiting process, and I came to like lots of camps here, and I was like testing out, seeing like what I wanted to do. But every time I was here, like I left like feeling like this is where I wanted to be, and my parents liked it here, and I'm only 3 hours from home too. It's not too far,
Mm-hmm.
and so my parents like are close enough to come to my games, and like my sister gets to come watch me play still, and so being here is like I get to play with like my family still being there, and I knew I wanted to play in college, so like this is just where I knew I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So
Did you guys like the recruiting process? Like, I don't know a lot about that other than like, you know, just being like a non-athlete. Like, I was just recruited like to the communications department. So like, what is the recruiting process like for like versus a regular person, like an athlete, do you think? Like,
Well, the athletic recruitment for softball has changed so much since I've been in it because I committed sophomore year of my high school.
Oh, wow.
High school, so it's completely changed since I've been in it. So she'll have a better answer than me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't do Twitter when I was
No.
being recruited, and now they like send highlight reels on Twitter, and I'm like, what? Or X or whatever it's called.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see so many people with like Twitter, like stats following them.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
this is new. Like, we're getting
Like,
fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter definitely is like a big part of like recruiting and like getting like your stuff out there for coaches to be seen. Emails is definitely like what a lot of it was in going to camps, and just like putting yourself out there. And like for us, we couldn't like talk to certain coaches like till a certain part of our junior
Mm-hmm.
year, and so I committed pretty early still. I committed in November of my junior year, but a lot of people, like, you can't even start having some conversations until like September of your junior year with certain schools and that kind of thing. And so that's how it's changed. Like, they put like a time start on it. And so but yeah, Twitter is like become like where all the posts and the stats and the videos, that's every time you scroll through Twitter, it's like new girls posting their stats and stuff. But yeah, through emails and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, my recruitment process was pretty much just like turn in an application, you're in, you come look at this department. Great, we'll see you in August. I was like, oh, okay, that was so easy. But like, I know that you guys like probably go through a lot more. Like, especially like you said, like you go to camps, like you go see different college tours and campuses. You meet coaches and teams while you're there. Like, you guys go through so much more, and you guys have a lot more to think about too. Especially like you said that Coach McGee was, you know, a person to look up to, and he would make you feel like not just an athlete but a regular person, which is really important. Like, having a good balance between being an athlete and a regular person, because you don't want to just be known across campus as, you know, someone who plays softball. You know, you're a real person. I think that's really important. A lot of the other athletes on campus I've talked to have said the same thing. So like, you guys have a new coach, obviously, Coach Jackson, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm making sure. Thank God I said that right. He, like, where did, like, tell us a little bit, like, do you guys know, like, his background? Like, tell us about his background and, like, so far how he's brought you guys together, like, as a newer team, because you guys have a lot of freshmen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, for instance, on the freshmen, I came in as a freshman with four other people. There's 5 people in my recruiting class. There's what, 14?
There's 11 of us.
11.
Yeah.
There was 14
Goodness.
last year.
Yeah.
11 this year. 14 next year. So,
Already, you guys know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my
like,
God.
it's completely changed. But Coach Jackson comes from a business background.
Okay.
And you can totally tell because every Sunday we get like
An Excel sheet.
an Excel sheet. But it's like so amazing. Like we'll get an Excel sheet of the week, and then every day before practice we'll get an Excel sheet of that day.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
nice.
It's like
Highlighted.
highlighted who's where, when you're supposed to be there, like down to the minute.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's
And it's
nice.
so amazing because like it makes practice go by so much smoother when everybody knows where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
And it makes things like more cohesive, and I feel like it's bonded us more as a team because like everybody like kind of has a sense of where they're supposed to be, like what
Mhm.
their role is, instead of like walking around like what are we
What's
supposed to be
next?
doing?
Yeah.
Like, what's next? And that was a thing last year, like what are we doing? But now we're like, oh, we're doing this right now.
Yeah,
Oh, it's 3:45. We're supposed to be here. Like
Mhm.
it's really great.
that's really nice. Like, being so organized. I know I'm super organized like that, so, like, I would run around like a chicken with my head cut off if I didn't have that.
No,
So I'm sure with, like, so many people on a
Mhm.
team, that's super nice, because it's a big
Yes.
group of y'all.
yes.
And, you know, things can get dangerous, you know, flying balls,
Yes.
and so, yeah, that's really nice. I'm sure.
I think at practice, at any given moment, we have at least 3 to 4 balls in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's like organized chaos.
Yeah.
yes, that's what he likes to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched you guys warm up this past weekend, and I was like, I would already have been hit that. Like, there's like no way, because like you guys have the outfield going, you have the infield going,
Right.
you have throwing going on. And I was just like, well, good job, y'all.
There was a few our first week in the fall, I think, and then they kind of realized, oh, hey, I gotta pay attention,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna get hit. But other than that, like it's been pretty cohesive, and
Yeah.
everybody pays attention.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember growing up and being on a field, and I would like see a bird shadow go over me, and I'm like, oh gosh. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's part of, you know, playing in an outside environment, you know, and I still have that, like, walking around you guys' field when I'm working for broadcast, I still have that, like, trauma inside of me. I'm
The
like,
shadow you dug.
yeah. So at least, you know, it's followed me throughout the years. It probably makes me safer playing out there, because, like, or not playing, but broadcasting, because, like, we have a camera on the third baseline, we have some up in the bleachers, and then we have one directly behind the wall at the farthest point, behind the Ouachita sign on the deck out there. And so, especially when girls are, like, hitting home runs or, like, things behind them into the bleachers, I always, like, yell. I'm, like, still yelling. There's no one around me, even. I'm like, watch out. But, yeah, it's more for my sake, probably. But, yeah, so it's probably made me safer around you guys, honestly.
Probably.
And I'm sure that you guys are very, like,
Locked in.
Head on
locked
swivel.
in, yeah.
Yes. Last year, there was somebody. I don't think it was you. There was somebody broadcasting on the deck back there, and I hit like a liner straight to them, and they had like it almost hit them, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, we always tell people, and I probably shouldn't put this in there, but it's fine. Bab, I will say Bab always tells people, that's better. Save the camera, not yourself. We can buy, we can't always buy a new camera, because, you know, our funds are not that sparing. But, like, we can take you to the ER, you know, we'll get you fixed, for sure. That camera might be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So we always tell new people, like, even at basketball, because they're down on, like, the
Mhm.
ends, and they're running, like, full on at these people sometimes. We're like, save the camera, please. And, like, we'll have giant football players working for us even, and we're like, we know you can save the camera. Like, you tackle people for a living. You'll be fine, we promise. So, yeah, it's just, you know, built-in trauma response that I'm thankful for, and I'm sure you guys are as well.
I still do that. If I'm in the bullpen, like, catching something at practice, and I see a shot, I'm like, oh, what's going on? So, like, it's not just, like, people that don't play softball.
Yeah.
I mean, I still do it.
Or like anywhere you're walking around, you hear heads and you duck. No matter where you are, even if you're protected, you hear heads and you duck.
And you would think, like, we would look up and try to find it. No,
You're covered. Yeah, you're making sure you're okay before you find it, because
Right.
it'll most
It'll find you.
That's right. Yeah. Most of the time it will. So I was told to just ask you guys how you're feeling about this upcoming weekend against Northwestern Oklahoma and then Delta State. I know Northwestern is in our conference. I'm not sure about Delta State. Are they?
Delta State is not.
Okay, I didn't think so. So how are you guys feeling about a conference and a non-conference matchup? Like, they're both doubleheader games also, and you guys play day after day, and so that's 4 games in like 24 hours. So like, how are you guys feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling like we know what to expect. Like, we know what we need to do, and I feel like this weekend is going to be a better outcome than last weekend. Like, win or lose, we're going to do better as a team, if that makes sense. Like, we're going to work better together and know what to expect out of each other and where each other needs to be. But I think the games on Saturday got canceled.
Oh,
I think it's just Delta State on Friday.
okay.
But
I'm excited for this weekend. I think that after last weekend, we're gonna spend like a lot of time together this week, and we're gonna work hard to make next weekend better. And I think that like having the starting point of this past weekend, like we have stuff to work on, we have stuff to build on. But I just think I'm excited for us to get back out there. I'm like ready to go again. So just ready to get back and get going.
It can only go up from here.
That's right. That's right. You know, like opening weekend, you get it out of your system, and you're, you know, it's just excitement. It's adrenaline, and so like, you know, now you're just rearing to go.
Right. Yeah.
So that's exciting. Okay, I have one question for each of you. It's a little the same, a little bit different, but like, you know, just so you're both able to put your input in. Okay, I'll start with Erin again. So you're a senior, obviously. You've played here for. Are you a COVID year? Like, are you?
I'm not a COVID year, but I'm a red shirt.
Okay.
So I've already committed to a 5th next year, but I'm playing this year like it's my senior year. Like, I'm leaving it all out there.
Okay. That's making sure I was right on that. Okay. Okay. So since you are a senior, what do you hope to gain on your last season, or like what do you hope to leave behind for the new incoming girls? Like, do you want to leave your imprint on the school or on them, or do you want to pass anything down? Just what do you?
It's kind of a broad question.
Yeah.
I know that I want to leave back like a sense of commitment. Like, we talk about like trusting each other all the time, like on squeeze plays, right on third, like fully commit. Like, you have to trust that girl. So like, I want to make sure that these younger players like have a bond that will take them through their next years of life, because this senior class that I'm with now, like me, Lauren, Emma, and Hannah, and Maggie, like, we've been through so much together these last 4 years that like we have an unbreakable bond. Like, we'll be best friends forever. So I want to make sure that like these younger players like know that that's important. Like, they need to bond with not only their class but the rest of their team, and it makes them better on the field when they trust each other like that. So that's kind of what I want them to like take away from our leadership.
Okay. You're incoming baby of the bunch, freshman, and you're already playing, which is, great. I feel like, at bigger schools, not a bunch of freshmen get to, already have played opening weekend, especially make their mark already early in the game, start impressing a lot of people who are watching. And so, like, what are you hoping to gain, especially starting out so young in your college career? Like, are you hoping to, leave behind a sense of leadership, like she said, or do you just want to, go out there with your class and like make the most of it? Like, what are you hoping to gain?
I kind of want to I want to learn a lot this year. There's a lot of like older girls and all the seniors and even like the juniors. There's a lot to learn from them, and like Erin said about like commitment and just like getting places early, working hard. Like, there's like little things bigger than just softball that they're very good at and that we could like get a lot out of. And I also just want us to be like a team that shocks people. I want that something to be that we like gain from this year. Is like, I want people to take away like the way that it looked like before going into the season. I want it to be like a completely different story when we're done. I want people to be like, that's not what I expected, but like I want to impress people, and I want this year to be like something that wasn't supposed to happen, but it's going to.
Yeah. Like a nice shock factor to walk away with. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. That's always interesting to be like walk away and be like, I was expecting this, but like you walked away with completely different. Like, and it's a game that humbles you fast, So like it's always something nice that you can grow on and leave behind as well. Like, especially you starting out so young, but also like you're graduating, but you can come back if you want. So like, especially like if people think you're gonna leave and you come back and they're like, oh, we have another year of this defense behind us at the plate. So, that'd be super nice. A nice shock factor. It always leaves people guessing, and I think it's a really nice way to end things, especially I'm a big reader, and so I love a cliffhanger. I hate a cliffhanger, but, it takes me to the edge of my seat. So, I feel like when sports do that, it tells a really nice story.
It does. It does. Okay.
Well, so I said that you guys have 2 doubleheaders, but I lied. 1 doubleheader on Friday afternoon and evening against Northwestern State. So good luck with that. I will be there working, so I will be watching as well. I'm excited to see what you girls do, especially after this rough opening weekend that we had with all the weather. It was. I'm hoping it's a lot drier conditions. You guys have your field tarped right now? Or no?
Didn't get it out.
It was too late to tarp it.
Oh.
You have a little window of what's acceptable to put tarp over and what's not, and we completely missed it.
Yeah.
There was a big puddle on home plate, and we're like, we can't tarp that.
Yeah. I remember one of my most fond memories about high school when I was managing the high school team was that I had to help them tarp, and we had to tarp in this outrageous wind one day.
It will eat you. It will roll you up.
A girl flew backwards into our fence, and the tarp just flew with her, and she was gone for a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We're like, where did she go when we take the tarp down? We're like, oh, she's on the fence. There she is. So that's one of my most fond memories of high school is when a tarp ate a girl. So
that's happened to us a few times in previous seasons, but luckily we've taught them to, when they're walking with it, keep it down.
Whoa.
So that's it. Don't run away with it. But
yeah. Well, good luck this weekend. I'm excited to watch you guys. I'm excited to continue on with our project.
Yes,
this was fun.
Yes.
You guys did great.
Thank you.
Very good job. Spread the good words to your teammates so they're not scared to come work with me. And I guess I will see you guys this weekend on the field. I'll wave. If you guys see me, you might not see me. I might just look like every other broadcast person. But I'll wave, and we'll have a good time this weekend.